Hey, thanks for tuning in. We're getting tons and tons of questions, and I'm really glad they're pouring in. It means you're paying attention, and it helps us to fill in the gaps of where we're not communicating clearly enough, not giving you enough information. And I'll talk about one that has me really excited just after this. Hi, it's Laura Giles with Pan Society. Thanks for tuning in. Now, I'm getting these questions that illustrate that there are some hidden rules in animism that the mainstream society doesn't quite understand. And this makes sense. So if you didn't grow up in something, then there's going to be a whole lot of things that are invisible that you don't understand. For example, let's say, and then I'm totally making this up, so this is not a real thing, but let's say that you lived in a culture where if you touch noses with somebody, that means, I don't know, it means I'm hungry. Okay? If you didn't know that from the outside and you just saw these people doing this, then you would miss the underlying reason, right? You would use a whole bunch of connections that you couldn't make because you didn't put those things together. And especially if touching noses for you meant get away from me. So you're not going to go from get away from me to I'm hungry because there's no way to tie those two things in together. So that's kind of what's happening here. So in order to be an animist and have a full expression and understanding of animism, one of the really, really root things that you have to understand is that we live in a society, a universe that has complementary duality. So what do I mean by that? So we have the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, which creates balance in the world, okay? And if you're coming from a Middle Eastern perspective, which is the Judeo-Christian Muslim people of the book tradition, then that doesn't exist. It is an antagonistic duality. So it's good versus evil, man versus nature, man is separate from God. And then everything else is kind of built upon that idea. So, when God in the Bible gives man dominion over the earth, that separates man from the beasts and everything. So if I want to go logging and chop everything down, well, that's my right because that's my power. And God gave man dominion over woman. So you see these things like misogyny and, sexism. Well, it's kind of built in there. You have these ideas that people are property. Slavery is in there. And I'm not just, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying that for all over the world, people engaged in slavery. So it's not unique to the Middle Eastern spiritualities. But what I'm saying is that, so we grow up with these ideas, they're in our unconscious, and then they filter out into everything else that we think. It's an assumption. It's just how we operate. So coming from that to a nature-based religion, which is what animism is, an earth-based religion where we're all one, you can't superimpose this idea of antagonistic duality on top of that, and the two just won't make sense in the same place at the same time. You're going to have a lot of conflict because you're mixing ideas. And so that's kind of what I mean when I'm talking about, you have to know your cosmology. If you're operating from a different cosmology, then you're going to have a whole lot of different hidden rules that you don't know about. Foundational one is that we're not antagonistic. The stars, the moon, the plants, the cows, the grasshoppers are part of us. They're all of us. They are us. So what you do to anything or anyone, you do to yourself. And so there is no antagonizing. There is no competition. There is none of this fighting. It's not good against evil. It's not, we got to stamp out the darkness. The darkness is part of us. It's where I might go if I am not healthy, mentally, physically. It's where I might go if I'm not accepting my emotions, if I'm fighting against reality, if I am I don't know, disturbed. And that's what it's there for. It gives me a place to go. Do I just evaporate and poof, I'm gone? No, there's a place for that. So the more I engage in the darkness and the more I fight against the darkness, the darker that I become. And if I don't like it there, if I'm uncomfortable there, then the first thing I need to do is stop fighting it. Just allow myself to be there. And this is kind of what moon circles do for me. So the energy is always changing. And hopefully most of the time I'm just flowing with it. I'm having an experience of it. So if it's in sync, I'm in sync. And if it's like kind of like this moon right now is really antagonistic. It's the big energy of this Libra full moon is me against we. And if I have a fight with that, then it's going to be very strong in me, assuming that I'm self-aware. And so it gives me an opportunity to correct, to find the flow. It's because it's, what's the word for that? It's dialectical. So you can have two opposing ideas at the same time be true. So I might be really angry at you, but I still love you. That's kind of what I mean. So it doesn't mean that you have to go out and rage at people, or that you judge people, or that you hurt people because you're angry or upset. It just means that you can still be in this place of love and happiness and togetherness and feel your feelings. So I hope that clears it up. It's a really, really different place to be if you're used to this good against evil, antagonistic way of looking at things. But I think it can bring you a lot of peace, because then we don't have to judge. If you see somebody having a hard time, it's not because they're a bad person, it's just in a bad place, an uncomfortable place. And that's a reflection of luck, choice, ancestral energy, intergenerational trauma. It's results of things being out of balance. And so what that is, it's feedback. It's telling us, hey man, you need to get back in balance. Or you keep experiencing this discomfort. So that's what these things are for. It doesn't mean you're bad, evil, horrible. You don't have to check out because of it. You can check in. And when you're checking in, that's feedback too. It's like, oh, these are the seeds that I've planted. This is what I've got. Maybe I'll plant different seeds next time. So it's not about you need to fix anything, you need to do anything. It's about just being here and enjoying nature and getting in harmony with nature so nature can support you, your ancestors can support you. You have all this love and beauty and support all around you. It's really a matter of what do you want to pay attention to. You don't like swimming in the dark? Let's swim over to the light. It's always available to you. So hope that helps. Keep your questions and comments coming in. They really help us to know where the gaps are. So thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. See you later. Bye.